Could this affect Medicare Advantage plans? This is interesting, and let's take a look here. Just Dateline, just an hour, 30 minutes ago, the U.S. Supreme Court. That dog, 17 pounds and a big old bark. The U.S. Supreme Court rebuffs United Healthcare Group challenge on Medicare overpayments. Now, wait till I read this to you. You're gonna be like, "How is this? Why would this? I mean, this is common sense doesn't go into this. Is crazy, crazy." Check this out. The U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear a United Healthcare Group challenge to a government rule requiring private insurers that administer federally funded Medicare plans to return potentially billions of dollars in overpayments, which they received based on incorrect diagnosis. Let's see. The 2014 rule applies to so-called Medicare Advantage plans, which are funded through the Department of Health and Human Services, but they're administered by private insurers like United Health Group. HHS pays Medicare Advantage plans a base amount per beneficiary per head, adjusted according to diagnostic codes reflecting each beneficiary's individual risk factors. All right. Under the rule, if a Medicare Advantage insurer learns that it received a payment based on unsupported diagnosis, it must return that payment within 60 days. And according to a federal audit in 2016, the government paid out $16 billion that year in unsupported diagnosis. Nearly 10% of the total paid to Medicare Advantage insurers. $16 billion was paid from unsupported diagnoses. I mean, this is insanity. And that's in 2016. What do you think they did 2 years ago? Last year, I'm sitting there thinking, what? And they're saying, you got to pay the money back. And United Healthcare said, no, we shouldn't have to. In a 2016 lawsuit, United argued that overpayment rule treated Medicare Advantages differently from traditional Medicare, which pays providers on a fee-for-service basis and does not comprehensively audit claims for overpayments. And we know Medicare is being destroyed by people stealing from it. That's a fact. So they're going to have to crack down on that. But United Healthcare's argument is like, look, you're not paying attention to what's happening over here, so you shouldn't pay attention to what's happening over here either. You're not paying attention to what's happening over there, I should say, so you shouldn't pay attention to what's happening over here either. You're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Just because they're getting away with it doesn't mean you should too. I mean, obviously, we need to have some Office of Inspector General to go after people who are stealing from Medicare. We're going to do a quick search to see Medicare bad payments here. The insurer said the difference ran afoul of Medicare's law requiring actuarial equivalence between Medicare Advantage and traditional Medicare. But the U.S. and then a district attorney in Washington agreed, overturning the rule in 2018. But the Circuit Court of Appeals concluded that Congress never intended to free insurers of their obligation to return overpayments. Exactly. Just because they're not going to have to, it's like saying, well, that guy, it's like you get pulled over for a drunk DUI. You're like, well, that guy's drunk too. How come you didn't pull over him? So you should waive mine. It's the same. What the hell is this? AHIP, a health insurance trade group that does not include United Health, submitted a brief to the Supreme Court supporting United Health Group as to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and America's Physician Groups, a National Physician Groups Association. That's freaking absurd, man. So let's do a quick search. We will go to Google this time and see Medicare fraud. Do Medicare fraud. We're going to hit enter and see what we come up with. Lots of ads. Reporting Medicare fraud and abuse, Medicare fraud strike force, Medicare support for fraud. I don't know what that is. Fraud defined. I wonder how much Medicare loses to fraud. Does it say right here? The total amount of Medicare fraud is difficult to track because not all fraud is detected. According to the OMB, Office of Management and Budget, improper payments were $47 billion in 2010. That's in 2010. Damn. 2011 crackdown on fraud charged 111 defendants in 9 cities, including doctors, nurses, healthcare company owners, and executives of fraud schemes. Yeah. Let's see what it. Hold on a sec. Let's go. Medicare fraud in 2000. Top healthcare fraud takedowns of 2020. They charge over 300 individuals for schemes involving more than $6 billion in fraudulent claims. Department of Justice recently reported its charge. Okay, we talked about that. Telemedicine company owners charging fraud. Chiropractor charging fraud. Rural hospital billing scheme. Abuse treatment, there we go. Fraud in Florida, shocking. Texas doctor found guilty of $325 million Medicare healthcare fraud scheme. Texas physician sentenced 84 months for healthcare fraud. 4 doctors found guilty and $150 million. Damn, dude. Crazy. Let's see. Convicted of Medicare fraud. Group homeowners convicted of $1 million Medicare fraud. Will I go to prison if I committed healthcare fraud? Yeah. Potential... 189 million in fraud scam with executives. All right. Anyway, so I mean, this is the issue: is that when these people steal the money from Medicare as our taxpayers, we're gonna have higher premiums, man. There's no other way around that. And so you look, you're like, they were getting. And look, I'm not saying it's theft what United Healthcare Group is doing. I'm just saying, dude, you got overpaid. You need to pay the money back. I don't care if this guy over here is not paying it back. You still should. So you can easily see that's going to be reflected in premium increases, I think. Yeah, we'll see. Now, if you're stealing from Medicare, you should freaking go to jail, man. You're stealing from the taxpayer. It's not right. You shouldn't be doing that. All right. We'll see ya.